Yes. Come on in the building, you guys. Come on into the welcome. Let me make sure everybody is in focus and doing their thing. All right, come on in the building. Let me know if you can see us. Let me know if you can see everything. All right, come on in the building. All right. Can everybody see everything very well? We're coming in live from South Africa, live from South Africa. All right. I just want to make sure everybody was in there. Everybody in there? So far, so good. All right, let's get it. Yo, good people. It's your homie HerbMan. So you back upside the head with another hot banger. Please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan. And if this is your first time to HerbMan Morning Show, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, we're currently coming live from South Africa, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please go ahead and stop by and holler at your homie HerbMan if you got any your health concerns. All we do is teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach you guys here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wealth. That's what we do, you guys. That's what we're bringing to the table. Okay, that's what we're bringing to the table. That limit soldier, getting you to understand exactly how to get back in tune with nature, get your balance back. Okay, and I always tease people when we're talking about the balance, right? You know, and I come on the show all the time, and I'm like, hey, just do this right here, right? Okay, balance. You know, no matter how you are, how old you are, how young you are. Not all over the place, not jumping all around by the simple move. This simple position is not just a position to show you about something crazy, but it's a position about balance. To keep your balance without having to keep your balance not only speaks to physical balance, but also to mental balance. But when you're depressed or anxious, or when you throw it off, when you're overweight, when you're too gluttonous, when you're too greedy, when you're too much of consumption out of alignment, then you can't be balanced when you're unaligned. Okay? Simple thing like that is enough for you to understand, okay, I need to do something else, right? So what we're teaching you guys today, and what we've been teaching you guys for over months and years now, is that there's a way for us to be able to get that balance back. Okay, so your sodium levels are high. Okay, so your calcium levels are high. Okay, so they told you that your potassium levels are low. Okay, so they told you that your iron is going to do about these particular things. What is it that's in your power that you can do that require you to have to oversaturate the fluids in the body that they're already like that anyway with inorganic material? So this balancing act that we're showing you, or this diagram that we continue to show, is not necessarily what you think it is. It has everything in it, so we look at it as a creative tool to be able to get you to visualize what a journey would look like, what the process would look like for enlightenment, what the process would look like for your health, what the process would look like for your mental health, your physical health, your cognitive health, what that process would look like for everything. You look, this is a DNA strand as well, right? I ain't saying that we know what's going on in your DNA from food, but is genetically you have a tendency based on some star alignments that gets us to get a little bit of understanding of who you is, despite what you think you is and what you don't know who you is upon information. That is still out there. You don't have to believe in it, but it's still true. What we're just divulging to you is to get you to visualize what the process would look like. If you're sick, visualize the transition from sickness to healing. If you're broke, visualize the transition from being broke to rich. If you are lost, visualize the way back home from lost to found. If you're down, I want you to visualize the way back home from down to up. If you see, so we're just using it as a visualization to what you want. If you're single and you want a husband, then you need a visualization of what that transition to that looks like. So there has to be a visualization. So we use this. And you get this in your manual for that little funky measly $50, all right? So now with that being said, we have to understand the importance of alignment in the and what all that entails. And so what happens is we come into the paradigm, and today I'm just going to really be just talking to you guys. You know, we could teach on the, if you guys, you want to call in, you want to chime in, you definitely can. You want to ask questions, whatever you can do it. You know what I mean? If you're dealing with issues, we're going to do the, intend to do the morning show as a more creative, a more interactive format to where you guys can call in, tell us about what's going on in your life, tell us about what's going on in your health, tell us about what's going on. If you got business opportunities, whatever you want to get shouts out to the community, wherever you at, whatever you want to do, you can do this on the morning show. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you guys, Graham. All right. And so at the end of the day, we want you to understand that you get this knowledge in your own. For the masses of us who may not say, hey, man, I don't know him enough to buy or purchase anything from him, and that's fine. Then now you'll still understand what you're seeing here. Okay. So this is a tool we use to see and visualize transition. Why transition? Because transition is what numbers is. Okay. Okay. That number speak is transition. So you get a transition from a 0 to a 9, meaning that you get a transition from nothing to something. Follow me, y'all. Welcome to the morning show. Keep tapping out, keep talking, guys. Get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast, okay? All right? Now, numbers is basically is a language, and what is that language saying? Transition. So you have 0 to 9 digits. That's a transition. From 9, from nothing to something is transition. That's what numbers do. Your 10 digits, 0 to 9. 0 holds value. Okay, if 0 didn't hold value, it wouldn't be 10, 100, $1 million. You got more zeros on there than ones. Okay, so 0 is holding space. So that means that 0 is a digit. So 0 to 9 makes 10 digits. And these are the transitions. Okay. But the numbers also, if you go into the Bible and you study the book of Numbers. Okay. If you go into the Bible and study the book of Numbers, that book also is teaching you about transition. The book of Numbers is teaching you about the transition from the old generation to the new generation. Transition from the wilderness, from 40 years of wilderness to the land of Canaan, because the new generation is going to inherit Canaan. The old generation inherit the wilderness, right? So you get this transition from wilderness to promised land. That's the story of Numbers. The transition from the wilderness to the promised land, from where you at now to your inheritance. Numbers. Numbers. Okay? Numbers is about transition. Okay. Transition is what we got from the celestial pattern. That there is a pattern, and that pattern is a certain transition. And it transitions from spring to summer to fall to winter. Right? But a permanent always coming, but then we're going to transition. So you are a permanent cycle of change. And the reason why I'm focusing and slowing this talk down on the morning show this morning while you're getting ready and sipping your coffee and getting ready for work is because some of you don't believe shit stink. You just ran through the mud. You just been ran over. You just been told all kind of stuff. You've been on all kind of medications, and you just got all kind of issues still going and festering on in your body. And you just got to that point where you just don't believe anything anymore. You know, that things are just out of your control. Things are out of control just around you. It can't nobody fix nothing no more. How it used to be. And I get that. And I concur with you on everything 100%. Is that there always is a ram in the bush. And we've just so happened to be able to get away to go back to an ancient way, talking back to nature to get some answers. Old way. And we really haven't been able to get anybody to know how to go back into. Okay? Come on into the building, YouTubers. Come on into the building, YouTubers. Keep tapping. You I'll keep talking. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody that you're coming on the HerbMan on the show. Okay? So that's what we're talking about, you guys. We're talking about the power of this alignment. We're talking about the power of the go from sickness to wealth. There should be somebody in our paradigm that understands the lost, that understands the way out. And I look at this tool as the way out. I look at the tool as the way out of the matrix. The way out of the matrix is to learn how to break the code of the matrix to ride the wave or the frequency of the matrix. So in essence, the waves equals the waves. If that makes sense. The waves equals the waves. So you got lessons that you're going to have in this lifetime. And you're going to have waves and currents, ups and downs, highs and lows. Let's look at it that way. Just like if you was doing the stock market, right? So right now, your sickness, you may call it a moment, a sickness in your life, but that's a wave. Okay, that's a wave of something hitting you, right? So now what we got to do is be able to understand what is my characteristics during a high tide, during a high moment, during an intense moment, during a flood moment in my life where I'm getting flooded by this and by that and by this and by that. It's not just a diagnosis, it's just a prognosis, it's just whatever this and whatever that just keep bouncing me, bucking me all around life, right? My point to you is that those waves, those hits in life is going to give you a characteristic of where you at. And so you say, okay, well, if this is a flooded moment where I'm just being flooded by emotions, flooded by issues, flooded by drama, flooded by ailments in my body, then I must understand that during a high tide moment, I must rest. See, it's the floater. When you're in high tide, you got the float. So you got to understand how to ride the waves. Because the waves in your life is going to equal the ways in which you will move the sails. Which way you going to sail? Which way you gonna float? So we understanding that during high tide you float. Tumultuous, they taught us in the name that the only way y'all gonna survive out here, you got to know how to float. Cause you can't swim against these tides. Y'all know. So the better of a floater, the better of a rester I was during the more tumultuous, turbulent times is when I was able to survive that time the best.